Hello everyone, today is Halloween. Happy Halloween. And for this day, I will show you a collection of my Bytebeat codes. We are about to hear some tunes here, folks. See, if you don't know what Bytebeat is, it is a program that lets you turn code into sound. Short code, to be exact. Music from very short programs. You may have seen this on YouTube before. And now, what I have for you today is a selection of multiple tiny URL links, each containing all the sounds that I've been experimenting with for the past few months. I will post these in the description of this video. I will even do this little Halloween one here. Alright, so for the first one, we have this. Wait, it's not that one. Sorry. Now, for the first one, I have sort of a drone. This one uses like an octave of sine and a wolf bit. This little arrow right here makes kind of a weird phaser effect. It kind of sounds like a bull of heaven kind of drone. That's what I was kind of going for. Alright. Second one is a more smooth and depth-filled drone that I came up with. I forgot the name. There we go. That's what it sounds like. It takes a little bit for the sounds to kind of start up, but this goes on for quite a while. Meant to kind of have a different texture as the sound goes on. It's a little dissonant eventually, though. And it goes through different volumes as well. This one utilizes 5 limit intervals. It's you're going to be seeing a lot of these types of intervals in these pieces. All right. For the third one, this was meant to be a piece for like kind of a full header kind of setup too. This piece is actually infinitely long, technically. Though the whole thing kind of fizzles out of existence as time goes on. It doesn't completely. And in turn, it also has different sound textures as it goes on. This is what kinda it was supposed to transition to the last one. One thing you can do to speed up one of these long ones that I have for you here is to go to the T over here and then add like a large number. See, the sound's starting to change. Yes. It slowly goes through different tones. These also have the 5 limits. Alright. Alright, so for the fourth one. Alright, so this is a 12-tone one. As in, just like the regular music tuning. The thing that kind of makes this work is this little thing right here. And the 112 will tell you which temperament to use. So if you put like 113, you would go into the microtonal category and make it 13 equal divisions. This is kind of the equation for that in terms of the bytebeat. So this little piece here is trying to like turn sequences of numbers into like a musical kind of context. This one's pretty complicated. And it sounds a little connected. This one's just kind of like an experiment. Also, it lasts for a bit too. That's another thing about it. Alright. For the fifth one, we have... yes. So what this is a certain feature that I found out with Bytebeat. Apparently, Bytebeat is able to take any sequence of numbers and convert that into sound. If you set it up like this. See here, I have a big sequence of numbers that was from like a fractal tone or something. Like a fractal sequence. But I shoved it into this thing. Apparently you can take like any kind of sequence. So what I can do is I can go to the online encyclopedia of integer sequences and just make the list into sounds. And that's really powerful. You can do a lot of crazy stuff with that. You can listen to fractals converted into waveforms, you know? Alright. Next one. Here's another attempt of like the sequencing to music that also uses the same kind of integer sequence that I told you about earlier. This one is 12 tone, like shown by here. And I actually kind of find this one a little catchy. This one is kind of meant to, Alright, there we go. So, what this was kind of trying to experiment was, seeing I'm combining two different sequences with like bitwise, and seeing how I could use it in like a musical way. Because it's actually a pretty peculiar way the way it sorts it when you do that. I could have probably made this a little less harsh sounding, but hey. Oh, one thing to make these maybe sound a little better, or like sound a little cleaner or less harsh, you could also go into the little Realtek audio console and use like the audio effects. Bytebeat makes some of them better. Alright, so this one is a drone created by two Weierstrass functions, which is basically take a waveform, add a waveform with double the frequency, half the wavelength, then add another one, double the frequency, half the wavelength, and keep doing that, and eventually you come up with a fractal curve. It sounds kind of like it's almost like a mixture of like an organ and a shepherd's tone. That's what a Weierstrass is called. And here, I combine two of these with frequencies separated by 5 limit intervals, which are shown up here. Starting with the wolf fifth, and it slowly goes through each one of them. I believe this piece is around 40 minutes long in total, but you can speed up the process by, of course, adding the number on the first C thing. It also has a little vibrato effect created using this right here. The strange thing about it is, if you multiply it, it just gets like wavier and wavier. I don't understand how that happens, but it does. So you have to use adding instead. Alright. Next. So yeah, that one is supposed to be kind of like a bowl of heaven kind of piece too. Ah yes, this one is just chaotic, all over the place tones. That's all it is. Just music that goes, sound that makes you go crazy. There's not really much to this one. Alright. Next one. Okay, so this is a cover of Beasts by Treats for Beasts. At least the first half. The second half is when things get a little hard to replicate. But yeah, this, without the vocals, obviously, this is what it's trying to emulate. This is kind of a thing to show that I can, you know, you can make real music with this too. Doesn't have to be just a bunch of drones and stuff. There's a little pop over there. I don't know what makes that. I think it's just it hitting the bottom and then shuffling to the top in an instant. Yep. And there's the fourth part. I wonder if I get my stuff added to the actual website of Bytebeat after posting this. I think I need to make an account to do that though. Alright. Sorry for halting that if you were singing along with it. Alright, so this one uses Dante Rosati's 8-note harmonic scale, like the diatonic harmonic scale. Well, not completely, because it also transposes... It also transposes itself, let's see, it transposes itself a perfect fourth. A perfect fourth. 4/3. Shown right here. It's kind of pulsy and like lo-fi. I made that using this because it sounds very harsh with the tangent function. You know, tan goes from 0 to infinity in a blink, and then comes back down. That makes a harsh sound. This one also goes for a decent while. Kinda Halloween sounding too. Alright. Next up. Alright, this one. This one right here is meant to be another very long one. And it sure does that. This whole thing is in 23 equal divisions per octave in an odd time signature. So it's got all that fun. But the thing is, this one piece goes on for about 2 hours and over 2 hours and 10 minutes before it starts over. There's a lot in this thing that I put in. I'm thinking of recording it, like putting the whole thing and like editing it into a real piece and putting it on YouTube. But I didn't really get the time to do it before Halloween, so at least I have the code for it. So, like always, you can just put some parentheses and add, so that you can kind of see what it does over time as well. Yeah, it gets very neutral sounding, if you know what that is. It's meant to be very strange as it goes on. Alright, the next one. Whoops. Ah yes, this is supposed to be in addition to the next one. So I'm gonna have to duplicate this. Okay, never mind. That is not the one right next to it. This one is... This one is just kind of meant to be in the background of another piece that was shown here. I'll tell you what it is when I find it. Alright. It's not this one, is it? Yeah, that's... Just give me a sec. Yeah, I might have put it in between by accident. Let's just move on. Alright, this one I was trying to make it like pitch bend over time. But I noticed that if you add like little bitwise things to it, it makes this, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I kind of like this one. It also gets crazier as time goes on. much crazier eventually. One thing that makes this go crazy is the fact that at right around here, I multiply it with a sine. And like I said, it slowly gets wavier and wavier. Bigger amplitude each time. And that's what makes it go crazy eventually. It eventually does that. Ah, this is the one that I was... This is the one that I was supposed to go with. This one uses like a bunch of polyrhythms with the same thing, the Weierstrass. Here you can actually hear those little wavy things that you hear there. That's what the Weierstrass functions sound like. Like I said, it's kind of like a mixture of a shepherd's tone and an organ. Is what I would describe the Weierstrass. It's because it's playing one note and it's playing an octave at half the volume, and then another one at half the volume. That's what gives it its organ kind of sound. This actually is kind of what fractals sound like, usually. It usually has this kind of shepherd's tone kind of sound to it. So yeah, this one was meant to play in addition to the one I found before. Sorry for kind of confusing you there, but yeah. This one also uses 5 limit intervals, because I love them. Alright, where are we? Okay. Alright, so this one is a little harsh. It's supposed to kind of give you anxiety in this way. I forgot exactly what this started as, but this one's actually kind of one of the shorter ones. So there's that too. I kind of forgot where I originally was going with this, but it kind of sounded cool when I did it like this. There we go. Okay, so this was like that drone that I shown before with the Weierstrass function, but it's only one type of drone for this one. So that's only like one type of drone, and it's for the yes, the wolf. J, so that's 50 over 27, that's the interval. I believe that's like a neutral second from an octave or something, if I remember correctly. So that's just like one of them. Alright. Okay, this is just like a copy of the other one. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, this was a copy. Accidentally. Oops. I accidentally put the same link twice. Alright, the last one. I think... Okay, so this was the one previous, but it has a little modification to it. This was like supposed to be the later revision of it. It also has that vibrato thing that I've shown before. It just kind of makes the organy parts go through an octave. It uses a bunch of the same crazy polyrhythms like before. Yeah, that's what it does. Alright. And that's it, folks. The links for the tiny URLs are going to be in the description. I hope you enjoyed these codes of sound. I will make real music, more real music once I get actual software and stuff again. Till then, enjoy these Bytebeat things. Alright, see ya.